The games are about to begin. You're watching Butler Esports.
Hello and welcome back to this losers finals here between Purdue and IU. We just watched IU lose to Ball State in the winners finals. Winner of this game is going to go to the grand finals against Ball State. So, talk about this match. What are we expecting here for this Purdue IU best of one for grand finals?
Yeah, it's a best of one, so you can't be making too many mistakes. I'm hoping to see like comfort picks maybe, because I know there's been we were just talking about this, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people have been either picking or banning Yone, and the Yone, at least for the games that have been on stream, has not really been seeing a lot of stuff. But I'm really expecting. I don't know. IU has a pretty standard draft, and Purdue has been really favoring. What was it? It was Gragas.
Yeah, what we've seen from
Gragas Corky is what we were seeing from them.
What we've seen from them all day is they like the Yone, they like the Corky mid with an AP top. They played Mordekaiser in game one, maybe the Gragas support, something along those lines. And as we can see here from draft right now, we're getting the Draven Volibear ban for IU, Skarner ban, which has been a big pick today, and Purdue with the Jax Zoe Thresh. So Yone's up, might see him, Corky's up, Gragas is up, stuff along those lines. And it'll be maybe Yone first pick here for IU.
I know we've been. Oh, Aurora's being hovered. Okay.
I like that.
I like that a lot as well. Aurora's a great flex pick. I think she's a pretty solid champion as well. She's got a couple different builds she can go. I really like this. It's showing again that I said I wanted like kind of safe drafts, adaptable drafts. Aurora's a pretty safe first pick.
Yeah, we saw IU use this champion against Butler in their two games, and like we said, Purdue is going to go the Corky or the Yone. They have played Yone Ivern a couple games now, but the Aurora is a great pick because now you can flex it into the Yone and, pick top on 4-5, something along those lines. You can leave top for the Aurora and pick something like an Akali or some mage. Syndra's really good into Yone, something along those lines. So there's a lot of options here for IU, but Purdue is sticking to what they said, and as you said, comfort all around the board.
Yeah, I would like to see a Syndra as well. I think that's going to be great at shutting down the Yone. And we're seeing Vi. Okay.
I like it. I mean, you have a lot of lockdown for Yone, easy to get onto Ivern. If you pair it with more dive champions here, Akali's really good into the Yone, really easy to play into Ivern. But you need to have that extra dive. You can't let Vi be paired with Lulu's or really.
Yeah, I want to see heavy engage coming out in these next few picks. Maybe this is where you put in your engage support or Varus. Okay.
Ooh.
Throwing out the Varus early, it's a safe lane and it works well with a lot of different supports. So I think this is okay. I really would have liked to see more dive coming out because now this gives Purdue a couple different avenues. Purdue's just going to lock in that Gragas though, like you said, getting that AP top side that they seem to have been relying on for most of this tournament.
Yeah, last two times they've played this Gragas, it was in the support position too, so it is a flex for them. There's not really any telling what role this thing's going to go to, and the double ban supports maybe their protection bans for the Gragas support. Maybe we'll see like a Braum or something along those lines. It's kind of hard for Gragas to play into, but on the other side, we're going to see bans from 80 carries.
Yeah, so Zaya's getting knocked out of the pool pretty early. Zaya been super popular in this tournament. She's really, really good right now. Kaisa is still left up, who's also doing pretty well right now. Maybe that's the bot lane you grab if you're Purdue here. Granted, I haven't played a lot of lanes with a Gragas support if they flex it there, so I can't say for sure how good it is, but it seems pretty good for Kaisa. It has a reliable way for her to get that ult going, and we are going to be seeing the Poppy banned out here as well. Just trying to stop that anti-dive that could potentially be picked by IU.
Which is an interesting ban for sure. The Samira ban for IU is a good ban as well. It stops some of what Purdue has shown in their last couple games playing that Gragas Samira bot lane. So I don't mind that ban at all. And it's really going to be interesting to see what Purdue picks here. It's got to be 80 carry. You don't want to lose that Yone Gragas flex, right? And they're just going to give it up.
Okay, so...
Okay. They're all three flexible, though.
Yeah, this is still a really loose, adaptable draft. Don't hate it. I mean, you can have that Galio match the Aurora wherever the Aurora is being put. So Aatrox being hovered here.
Aatrox, but then Purdue just puts Yone into the Aatrox, right?
I would imagine, yeah. And just send the Galio mid.
Something like a Casio could be really good here. Something that can be flexed into multiple roles. But I assume with the Aatrox pick, they'll put the Galio mid and the Yone top.
That's what I'm doing if I'm Purdue here. Just get that Galio to shut down the mage at all, if at all possible. And so we're just waiting on the support pick here from IU. Would really like to see something heavy engage oriented.
A Rel could be really good.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe Rel, maybe Leona. Leona's doing pretty well this patch.
Renata
And
Glask.
I'm not sure I like that.
I mean,
I understand the reasoning behind it. What is going on?
okay, this is kind of funny because earlier I said Nyla's just a better Samira, and we get it this game, but now you're 4 melee champions into Aurora, Aatrox, Renata. Could get a little tough to play that out if you start to fall behind.
Yeah, no, there is a serious range issue on the side of Purdue. Wow, I was going to say, I don't think this Renata pick is going to be very good because you probably want more dive, but, well, now I think it's amazing because the enemy team has so much dive.
I think the whole time we were thinking about getting dive from the side of IU and not realizing that Purdue is just going to run at them no matter what. So maybe the counter engage was a better call.
Yeah, I'm beyond curious to see how this plays out. I have enjoyed playing Nyla a few times in solo queue. Like you said, just feels like a better Samira. But, I mean, there's a range problem. That Aurora is going to be able to poke him down from a distance, right? We have the Varus, who has lots and lots of range. You got the Varus ult, you got the Q. I'm curious. Both of these teams clearly have a plan that they're thinking about. I'm just not sure which draft I like better. I think I'm gonna give it to IU here.
I think the Renata is a really good pick here. It allows a lot of that counter engage that you need. It makes the game really hard for Yone and Nyla, and being 4 melee, it's kind of a lot of threat taken away from the Varus, but it's really just going to come down to who gets the jump on who first, I believe. I think I like IU's draft a little more as well. If the Nyla performs, Nyla Galio can be some really fun.
Yeah, those are some
really
wombo combos
crazy
you can
things.
do there. Absolutely. Nyla ult into Galio ult is going to hit like a freight train. And there's... Right, there's just a lot of wombo potential here. It's like Nyla ult into Yone ult into Galio. I mean, that's just a team wiped right there.
I'm also interested to see where they end up putting the Galio and the Yone, because all day we've been seeing the Yone out of Purdue's mid laner on A's. And I think they might have picked the Galio thinking it's Aurora top, AP champ, like Galio's good into AP champions, play into Aurora, because otherwise I don't know why you pick Galio there. And we're seeing a little bit of the in-game draft, and that is what we're seeing. We're seeing that Galio top lane. So they did not expect it to be Aurora mid.
Yeah, I think they're I don't know Aurora's matchup super well. I mean, it is Galio, and Galio's always going to kind of win lane into a mage, but I don't know if Aurora eventually outscales him. I think it's going to depend on the build she goes as well. No, she has either the tanky Roa build or the more aggressive Malignance Cosmic one.
From my experience playing that lane, it's pretty Galio favored. You always win early game, and then you can easily side lane against her and have your ult to join fights. It's definitely Galio favored, but so is the Yone Aurora matchup. I think Yone still is a little okay in that lane. He doesn't really mind. It's just kind of get to Bork. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what they end up doing here for this early game, because they might lane swap these two. They might just say A's is the better Yone, but he's going to play top this game and keep that matchup, because that's a much better matchup. The Galio Aatrox matchup is horrendous for Galio. So I'm interested to see what they end up doing.
I agree. I'm really curious to see how this bot lane early game is going to go. Neela isn't the greatest early as well, and I think Varus in particular can cause a lot of problems for her.
Yeah.
I mean, like we said, there's a range problem here for the side of Purdue, and early game Varus is going to be able to kind of push the Neela around in that lane a bit, especially with Renata there to kind of stop Gragas from trying to, I don't know, coin flip a level 2 fight or something.
We also haven't seen it any of this series or any at all today, and it's something done a lot in pro play with lane swaps. Maybe it's a Nyla lane swap angle, you know? You say, okay, Galio can survive the dive pretty easily with his taunt, with his E. Maybe they lane swap this and try and get out of that early game, the first like 4 or 5 minutes of it, let Nyla scale into the game a little bit, have that XP advantage because of her passive. I would actually really like to see a lane swap, but I don't know how well practiced these teams are on stuff like that.
Yeah, lane swaps are like kind of the thing in pro play right now. If you're tuning into Worlds at all, that's pretty much what every team is doing. But we haven't really seen it here. It's a difficult thing to practice, right? Most people are kind of content to play standard league. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about people trying lane swaps, but I agree. It'd be fun to see. I think this is a good way to do it. Like you said, Nyla's EXP sharing passive will help her get ahead, start that scaling process without having to worry about getting pushed around by this Varus. But, you know?
You never know what's going to come out at Battle for Indiana. These lands are wild. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a comp like this in pro play. Nyla, Galio, Gragas, and the Gragas' support.
Yeah, no,
with
this
the
is
Ivern.
this is some unique stuff that's being cooked up here.
I'm excited to see what they do. I think the lane swap also would be really good at setting Aatrox behind, because otherwise IU's going to have 3 really strong lanes. Like, they will have pushing top, pushing bot 100%, and then mid lane comes down to how your trading patterns are. Very similar to the Orianna Syndra matchup we saw earlier in the day, was whoever knows it better and plays it better is the one who's going to get push.
Yeah, and again, it's important to keep in mind, this is a best of 1.
Yep.
So, you know, these things like early push advantage and how these waves are being manipulated, it could snowball out of control really quickly, and if you make too many mistakes and the game's over, that's it. You're done. You're out of the tourney. So, it does feel like a bit of a gamble from the side of Purdue, but I am curious to see how it does. I also really just like watching Neela, personally. She's a really fun champ, so I really hope we get to see some fun Neela plays as well.
With your tournament life on the line, I'm enjoying these 2 comps. They're both very fun, a lot of options. Definitely weird from the side of Purdue. Not bad necessarily, but definitely weird. And if they're comfortable on it and perform, it's going to be really fun. And as you were saying, best of 1, you can't make mistakes, not only because obviously you'll lose the game, but the mental battle that goes on in a best of 1, high pressure. If you make one mistake and let it drag on to the next one, it gets really hard to mentally come back and challenge that so that you can win the next team fight in a close game. So you really want to try and keep this game as close as you can.
Yeah, we will be getting into game fairly shortly. I'm excited.
It's hard to say what's going to happen, but it's going to be fun.
This is a really unique draft, so I don't feel like maybe calling it in favor of one team or another, you know, just yet. So I'm excited. I want to see what the plan is here from Purdue.
Yep.
I'm going to be keeping my eyes on this bot lane in particular. I'm going to be keeping my eyes on where they're going to set this Galio and this Yone. Yeah, I think it will be interesting to see.
And we're seeing already the lane swap that's happening here. Yone is going to go top lane into the Aatrox, which is what we expected. And like I said, it's just A's is the better Yone. That's what it is. Phantom is more comfortable on the Galio. They pick the champions they want, and they'll change the roles, but it's not the Nyla Gragas lane swap top lane.
Yep, so this is going to be standard league. Again, lane swap is something we typically only really see in pro play. And like you said, A's is the better Yone. Just send them top. Yeah, get them that much better matchup. Aurora here will be going as well. Sleep will be going for that more damaging Aurora build, so we won't be seeing tank Aurora. We'll be seeing more of that high burst.
Oh, look at this, though. IU smelled it out. They might have saw it, and they're going to lane swap so that they get the lanes they want. It's a massive mind game here between these 2 teams. And when the mental is going to be stressful this game in a best of 1, IU at a slight advantage here with this mind game to start.
Oh, poor Phantom. That is just going to be such a rough start to his early game. In the meantime, as you can see, bot lane already securing that early push.
Yeah, which is kind of what we said. With these specific lanes, it's going to be really IU favored. They're going to have a lot of push in bot lane for sure. That Renata Varus is very, very oppressive, especially into the melee champ of Nyla. And this top lane is going to come down to, one, now that they're in the top lane, you have the longer lane who's going to know how to play this wave management better. And mid lane, it should be definitely favoring the Aatrox in this. So I think it's just IU winning all around. But it looks like Phantom might know this matchup or how to play mid a little bit better because he is getting the push here.
Yeah, that was just about to comment on that. Phantom is actually taking High Prince down to about half HP. Not what I was expecting. Is going in for the engage here. And, you know, if that was level 3 Galio, I think that's a dead Aatrox right there. Unfortunately, just gets level 3 and is going to get that shove off and go and potentially even maybe look for a roam. That's very pushed up bot lane. There's a lot you can accomplish early game since Phantom has just gotten that push already.
Yeah, it seems Phantom knows how to play Galio or knows this matchup a little bit better than High Prince. And as you can see right now in this bot lane, massive stack wave into a 3-minute plate. This is going to be a very, very oppressive bot lane. It's not going to be fun to play. And Gumayuki has to make sure he just gets as much CS as he can without bleeding a ton, or else he's going to make no use of this Nyla passive. A lot of trading here in the mid lane.
Yeah,
the comes down.
Oh, this is High Prince and needs to commit. Might even need to commit a flash here. Phantom doesn't quite have the cooldown to go down in the bot lane. Yama taking super, super low. First blood off screen goes to Galio. As well as that Renata going down. Loki Dosi just trying to stay alive here, but it is not gonna happen. Gumayuchi takes down Loki Dosi. Not what I was expecting early from this bot lane at all, but this is big for the Nila.
In the most known rivalry game in Indiana, Purdue versus IU. Purdue is coming out hot here in this first 3 minutes to set themselves up for a very easy game. As long as they can keep these lanes going the way they want, this is not looking good for IU just for these first 3 minutes.
Yeah, the only side that appears to be winning right now is...
Oh!
I was about to say, top side seems to be going well, and Sleep with a flourish and a flash agrees, getting that kill. Well played.
Sleep says, put your faith into me, I got this. And he's going to get that solo kill top lane. And in this type of game where these lanes are so important in who's winning, solo advantages are going to make a big difference, like we saw in the mid lane, because now Galio's able to move around. Hopefully IU is able to take that and pressure top lane and move it into jungle camp stolen from Ivern into Grubs, something along those lines.
Yeah, and while Gumayuchi down here does have that item advantage, it is still a ranged advantage down here as well. You still are going to have trouble contesting this easily. They just have to back up here. You know, feels a bit bad, I guess. And in the meantime, Phantom, like you said, just really seems to know this matchup. High Prince has been at his tower pretty much all game. Dragon has just spawned, and Phantom has already taken High Prince down to half HP.
But he has his cooldowns back. Doesn't he have the Q3? Enough damage. Ivern is here with the flash to save him, but he doesn't get enough auto. But the Q's going to come back up right now, and Vi is going to pick up that. Oh, he actually didn't pick up the assist at all. Ivern's going to pick up his Raptors and just walk away. And one thing I didn't notice in the play earlier is bot lane didn't use their sums at all for IU when they died. They just took the 2v3 straight up and were like, okay, we'll die if we die.
Oh, speaking of sums, the exhaust is going to be used. That was almost the engage of the century here, but now it is looking really rough. And those saves, some save Gumayuchi's life, flashing out with just barely enough HP. Sleep, meanwhile, drops the ult and is looking for the kill onto AZ. But AZ, using that Yone W, lives to fight another day. And these are some close skirmishes that are happening already so early into this game.
What you love to see from IU here is that they didn't let those first 3 minutes that were pretty bad get to them mentally. Like I said, it's a high-pressure BO1. Winner of this game goes to grand finals. You have to keep the mental high. You can't let the highs get too high or the lows get too low. You just got to keep playing the game as it comes to you. And that's exactly what IU's doing. And Sleep is just bullying this top wave. But the Galio comes in. Okay, he doesn't get the knock-up on, and he ends up living just barely. Huge ult to save Yone there from Phantom.
That was so close. If Galio hadn't ulted, AZ would simply be dead. The Sleep almost getting the pick there, but it's a clutch Galio ult. But you did give up quite a bit of prio, and I say that, you know, this is IU's Dragon to take. You can already see them moving in on it.
And Yone's going to move down here as well to try and help this Dragon, but as you said, there's so much prio, so much strength from these lanes right now that should just be a free Dragon over to the side of IU. Yama fanboy is just going to take this for free.
Yeah, and there's not a lot you can do in return. I don't think that Purdue is really in a position to try and contest these grubs just yet. So it just feels bad losing that Dragon, and like we said, it's best of one. You can't be losing these objectives early. Now, we do have a hover down here, but I don't think the Vi is going to be heading in. Just going to look for the reset. Yuchi and Sakam live to fight another day.
This is one of the difficulties of Ivern. Without Daisy, he really struggles at taking... Oh, a lot of
Aiden's going to jump into High Prince here, and it's looking like they're going to continue the fight. Eugene walking up as well, trying to get a kill, and the World Ender does come out, and High Prince is looking mighty low. Sleep is here to back them up, and that is a really low looking AC. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Loki Dosi is ignited, uses the barrier, and is just barely going to make it out alive. They're trying to stay alive under this tower. Gumayuchi will instead kill Yama. Loki Dosi forced to back off. That's just an unsafe lane. And meanwhile, in the mid lane, AZ is going to be trapped in that ult and just taken down by Yama Fanboy. That should be grubbed here for IU.
We're seeing both teams play to their strength really well. The bot lane for Purdue realizes that they're Nyla. They're going to get level 6 first. They push that wave and play on it. Full aggressive. Know that Loki Dosi does not have flash. The cast comes in, pushes him back, forces him to use his barrier, almost gets the kill, dives Renata on the back end of it. Really well played there. But on the other side, we saw IU use their strong points in mid lane, knowing that Ivern can't really play for these grubs without Daisy. So they just say, okay, we're going to try and fight you here, use our strength, get the kill, play for grubs right now. And we're just going to see this constant back and forth between these two teams' strong points.
Yeah, like we said, they clearly both have a plan, and they're both trying to execute it. It's just that it's gone a bit more in IU's favor so far. They're going to secure these grubs, and these objectives start to stack up. They've got the first dragon, they've got the first grubs. Grubs especially are going to be key in whittling down these towers. Phantom here is just going to be chased down by High Prince. Is this the kill angle? The taunt does land. High Prince is going to take the trade and leave instead.
That's just that stat padding trading right there. So at the end of the game, you do an extra 200 damage. It really doesn't mean anything, but you do it for the fun of the game, you know, for the love of the game. And right now, we're actually seeing this Nyla pay off quite a lot so far. I mean, he's down 20 CS.
Oh, and then here comes the end game.
Nice
Yeah,
stats.
and here comes the R, and this is it. You got to commit the flash here. Yama throws out the ultimate, but it is dodged by Guma, and Gumayuchi can't quite find the damage to get onto Loki Dosi. Is going to take the Varus ult as well, but we are setting up here for the dive. Here comes Yuji. The TP is coming in, but Gumayuchi is on a killing spree. Needs to get out. High Prince pops the world under Daisy. Positive response, flashing over the Daisy. Gumayuchi, can you get out? No, he can't. Shut down goes to the Yama. Instead of High Prince looking to find some more here as we have the vibe rotating. Eugene is caught in between a rock and a hard place. Flashes out and is just barely going to escape. The Vi ult will connect. And Eugene needs to get out right now. Sakam is coming in. Here comes the TP from Phantom to take out High Prince. Meanwhile, that vibe finally goes down. Eugene securing the kill onto Yama Fanboy. High Prince is so low. Can he get out? I don't think he will. Phantom gets the kill, and Saknam just barely escapes, living to fight another day. What a bloodbath.
A long trade turns into a 3-for-1, I think. I mean, that fight went on for like 30-45 seconds, something like that. We're just seeing constant fighting across the map. Both these teams know that this is a best of one, and they are just going to put it all out on the line, give it their all, and see what happens. And again, like I was saying, the Nyla XP advantage is what is really making this bot lane easy for them to play. You know, we expected it to be a lot harder, and we saw the strength of the Varus Renata, but this Purdue bot lane has used this XP advantages perfectly to now build themselves a nice lead.
And you do have that collector on Nyla. That's such a strong item on her. It's going to make these engages just that much more dangerous here for the side of IU. Although on the side of IU, Aurora has completed that Malignance, and we've already seen Sleep use her ult to great effect. As we see, Phantom is just going to back off. Yeah, I don't think you go in on that one, friend.
I'm interested to see... Actually, I don't know where I was going with that. Saknov, Gragas has been really good this game. And Eugene's Ivern as well has been also really good. Not just today, every game we've seen it today here. And he's got the redemption on this. He's actually one of the first people to his first item. He's really strong this game with this first dragon, or second dragon coming up. I would like to see Purdue move down to this dragon, use these strong points, knowing that they have some advantages too, into this dragon.
I absolutely want to see Purdue push hard for this dragon, and you can see they're trying to get the prio here. Gumayuchi shoving up that mid wave as we see Phantom walking down to that bot wave. We see the pings, we see the vision coming out. They are going to secure that dragon, and like we said, back and forth a few times, but it's really what it feels like, just so much back and forth here. Both these teams know how important that these objectives are and how important that this match is. We keep stressing it, but it needs to be stressed. This is a best of one. You get one shot, and both these teams are already giving their all.
Yeah, the Dragon going over here to Purdue is really going to set them up in a good spot where they don't have to worry about Soul at all anytime soon. 15 minutes, that's assuming IU is able to get every Dragon. They're the team comp that outscales for sure. So having this one Dragon buffer gives them an extra 5 minutes no matter what. And that would be if they're behind. But they're about a 1,000, 1.5K gold up with these grubs coming up. I would also like to see them get at least one of these grubs, stop the 6, but we're seeing some tempting here.
Oh, AZ tries to ult out, but the ult comes back in as Aatrox is coming in. The redemption is going to keep them up just a bit longer. Galio ult coming in as well. And all of a sudden, IU find themselves on the back for the Gragas. Oh, connects! And hostile takeover, however, is stopping everyone in the tracks. Daisy comes out as well. Are they going to go for the tower dive? No, they're not. They're going to walk back out and go to grubs. Just kidding. AZ is hungry for more, but the ult drops down. It doesn't really find much. You got a very low Gumayuchi just now healing up off that level up. AZ really wants to dive there, but is eventually just gonna back up there. Loki does fall to Saknam, as Saknam looking very low. Sleep will get a kill back in return. Eugene looking mighty low as High Prince comes in. High Prince does not escape the taunt, is caught in a rough spot. Gumayuchi with the ult! You're all getting collected today, IU. Gumayuchi barely escaping with their life as the Ivern keeps them alive. Sleep trying to find the return kill onto this ADC, but there's just too much peel as we see Vi walking in for a flank and is just going to back off. Herald is up, but I don't think either team is in a position to get it. And these fights are just going on for so long. My goodness.
And they are so close, too. I mean, Gumayuki got out of there with maybe 150 health. Ivern got out of there with about 200. Yone didn't have a ton of health at the end of that fight. But the Ivern, to start that fight, Ivern's redemption onto the Yone, who looked like he was picked out, cost Vi her cease and desist, cost the world ender out of Aatrox. It meant that T1, not what I meant, IU did not have, I was looking at Gumayuki's name. IU didn't have the ultimates to really play that extended fight out, or else it might have been very different. But A's was able to stay alive in top without really using much besides I guess they used the Galio ult too in the redemption, but they're much less ult reliant besides like T1 Gumayuki.
Yeah, and speaking of ults, that was a very well done ult from Gumayuki there. Really just turned the entire thing around, picking up a nice 2, almost 3 kills. Phantom just has to back away from High Prince. That's such a rough lane there for the Galio. AZ might be getting dove here. We do have Yama Fanboy coming in. The Yone ult will connect, and yeah, he's just dead. Sleep on a rampage. And might even try to go for Eugene here. Eugene, you gotta get out. I don't think you can survive this. Yama Fanboy is coming around. Daisy does a surprisingly rather large amount of damage. Sleep is gonna have to play this a bit carefully as Saknam is rotating. Sleep's just dead. That's a shutdown for Saknam. Flash committed from Eugene. Yama Fanboy is now turning around. Has that Renata W enhancing. And Gumayuchi is here, and he's hungry for blood. But Gragas is hungrier. Saknam with the double kill as they take the Hex Gates, looking for an angle onto Yama. Can they find it? Yama gets out, but that's Rift Herald.
Saknam's Gragas is so disgusting, man. Every game this guy has played Gragas has been absolutely a 1v9 performance, and this game has been no different so far. He's in the right spot. He's using his ult to such high levels to make great plays. This guy cannot have Gragas if he gets to go to the grand finals.
Yeah, that's just proving to be an absolute terror. I love the rotations that come out of him. Like you said, it's just a masterclass in using the Gragas ult. He's done a great job of displacing all the opponents on the enemy team. Yeah, I think if IU makes it to the grand finals here, letting Gragas through was just a mistake. This is clearly a comfort pick for him. It helps that Gragas is also just a really strong champion right now as well.
Hit the flash, got the flash, free flash. That wasn't stat padding damage. That was real damage right there. That could have resulted in a death. from Phantom, but nice flash to get away there. Is going to be pretty bad not to have this flash in this next team fight, but he does have his ult. He'll be able to make it back to this dragon that's spawning in 25 seconds. But really, it's going to just come down to what T1 Gumayuki can do and what Loki Dosi does on the other side. A lot of people have their first item complete. Ivern actually already has 2, also doesn't have a flash. There's a lot of options here for the side of IU on who they need to target.
Yeah, I think you just want to try and get that Neela out of the picture as soon as possible. But we're going to be seeing a tower after sleep does commit the ultimate. And as well, there's the Renata ultimate. There's the Galio ultimate. We saw the redemption go down as well. Nobody's died quite yet. Daisy is out. AZ is going to hit 2 with the Yone R. And the taunt captures only 1. Doesn't quite manage to get anybody in the flash. Does get the flash there out of Yama Fanboy. AZ, however, is taken very, very low by Loki Dosi. Both these teams are still looking for a really good engage angle. Amazingly, nobody died in that entire exchange.
Yeah, Eugene's Ivern is just keeping everybody alive. His redemptions has been great. His shields have been great. Saknam is on the side. I don't think they know he's here. Loki Dosi is going to get caught out here. He's going to have to use his flash. It's just a free flash just from the body slam there. And the dragon going over to the side of Purdue. But Saknam is going to die to the cease and desist and then Loki Dosi's arrow. But like I was saying, the Eugene is playing this Ivern really well to keep everybody alive and everybody healthy.
Yeah, very well played from Eugene, and Saknam unfortunately does go down, but you get the second Drake. I think that's absolutely worth here if you are IU. They just want to keep
Look at that
snowballing.
shield.
That is silly. He doesn't even have Dawn Core yet.
No. I mean, he's got 10 stacks of the Dark Seal, so he's got quite a bit of AP. I'm interested to see if he goes to the Magi's with that, or if he's just going to try and get to his third item, but... Oh, that shield is massive.
And that's going to be huge for Gumayuchi whenever Gumayuchi wants to go in for a big engage. Speaking of engage, there is some heavy trading going on in that bot lane. Don't think it's going to turn into anything else, though, as it's just a bit spooky for AZ to take extended fights with that Aurora.
Yeah, I don't know what much is going to happen here. We are seeing some of Purdue posture up to the top side. I mean, they're just going to try and get vision around this Baron, but there's not much that really needs to happen right now. It should be a little bit of a lull state, I'm guessing, where both teams are just kind of ping-ponging waves back and forth, posturing for vision that isn't really going to stick for very long. Because I don't think either team wants to start the Baron, considering that they're... Oh, we are seeing some more trading here in the bot lane, but... Oh, we do have Vi here with the
Oh, and here comes the ult, and the cease and desist is locked and loaded. Is it going to be used on AZ? Yama coming out the slows. I don't think the Vi ult's needed here. Oh, but AZ just barely manages to get away. Can the rest of IU track him down? I mean, you can see the pings are going absolutely crazy on the minimap. The Rift Herald just dropped mid as well. There's quite a lot going on mid.
Oh.
AZ will get out as that Herald does land on the mid tower. Meanwhile, up top, Saknam will assist, or rather not assist, but kill High Prince. Well played from the side of Purdue.
Yeah, Yama Fanboy held that cease and desist so that Yone was able to get out there. You were hoping to get that pick and then, you know, posture into some Baron maybe, some Baron vision, some control over mid into mid tower, something along those lines. Maybe bot tower, because first tower still hasn't fallen yet. It's going to fall here topside, but you would have really wanted to get that pick, and she just held the cease and desist for way too long.
Yep. Might get a chance of redemption here, though. AZ caught out. There is the cease and desist. Sleep lands a beautiful E and will take out AZ1. Very well done. Yama is going to stop Saknam over there. And that is a pick, but neither team seems really in a position to convert it into anything meaningful. It was on a side of the map where there aren't really any objectives. They are just going to get this mid turret.
Yeah, that's a lot of standing gold on the map for both teams. The tier 1s going down there for the top and mid side of IU is really good for Purdue. That's quite a bit of gold. IU answered with the one bot tower, but this mid tower being down is going to open a lot of the map. Is going to give a lot of entrance into the top side jungle of IU for vision, posturing for the Baron, stealing these camps. And with the Hex Gate, since it is a Hex Tech map, there's going to be a lot of fast map movements around this game. Like, both teams are going to be able to get back on the map quickly. A lot of resetting from supports, getting wards down where they want them, into basing, into getting right back because of this. So whenever a Hextech Dragon is the soul, it's a very macro heavy game on how you play the map.
Yeah, the map state's going to be so important. We can see already there's so much vision around the top side Baron. Both teams are looking for an opportunity to get a pick. and convert that into a Baron to be absolutely huge, especially for Purdue, just putting even more pressure on IU. IU already on the back foot here. They haven't really, they've taken a single tower, but they have yet to really go after these Drakes. They don't really seem terribly strong at the moment. It's going to be difficult.
Black Cleaver doesn't stack, does it? I don't think so, right?
I don't think it does.
Yeah, I think Vibe probably. I think it like they can stack it for each other, but the 40 or 30% armor reduction is the max.
I believe that's the cap. Yeah.
I think I would have liked to see Asterix a little bit more there from Vibe, but it is okay. I mean, you're maybe just thinking you're not going to fight much with Aatrox. I'm not really sure, but we're going to see this posturing, like I said, around these dragons or around these objectives in general. Purdue is just trying to get vision in this jungle. Push mid, push side, have a lot of prio in these lanes into moving into the jungle and then back and forth. Just keep doing that over and over. We're also seeing a big XP lead from a couple of members in this game. Sleep has a 2-level lead over Yone, and T1 Gumayuki has a 2-level lead over Lokidosi.
Yep, and those levels give you stats, and those stats let you hit just a bit harder. This dragon is almost coming up, and there's a lot of vision control from Purdue here in the river as they're slowly making their way into the bot side jungle gradually. We see AZ resetting here, does have the TP available, and I think Purdue just needs to full send it, run straight to that dragon, and that is exactly what they are doing.
Yeah, it's very hard for IU to get in here. They could enter through mid lane through the river, but it's just kind of death. You're walking right into Saknom's Gragas. You're walking right into Aze's Yone. You know, Phantom, Galio. You have a lot of options that are just going to CC you down and kill you. But it looks like they're going to start the Baron on the other side. While they do have vision on, they have full prio on the top side. This is a really tough Baron to do.
Yeah, this is really risky. You can even see Purdue with the Fan thing. Oh, and the Gragas ult is going to knock them off of it. Yama and Lokidosi take some damage and are just looking to try and leave. IU is not willing to fight this. Purdue... Oh, no, they're going back. Okay, they're going back, and here comes the engage from Phantom. Sleep is forced to use that Secret's Arm Guard, and the ult comes out. Sleep needs to flash out. Here comes the Redemption as well, and that Yone's looking mighty low. AZ is the first to fall. Lokidosi gets a double kill along with the shutdown on the Phantom. I cannot believe this is working, but Gumayuchi, and there we go! Gets two! He gets one with the kill. Kills Lokidosi. Yamaboy runs away, and Gumayuchi single-handedly saving this Baron play, and now that is Purdue's Baron.
I really like the idea behind IU. They said, we can't contest Dragon, so we're going to take Baron, force them up here, get some cooldowns, get some resources out of Purdue. They got the Gragas Flash, the Gragas ult, the Galio ult, the Galio TP. They got the kills, but then they stuck around a little bit too long, tried to go a little bit too far. Otherwise, it would have been a really good play from them had they backed and taken their small win before Gumayuki got there with his Flash Apotheosis that really turned that fight for Purdue. But that does mean IU should be able to get this dragon if they can melt it down in time. They do have Aatrox TP, but I don't know if they have enough damage quick enough. I think they do.
It's gonna be close. Here comes the rest of Purdue.
Oh,
and they did it! Let's go, Eugene gets some steal, and here's the kill onto Yama Fanboy, courtesy of Ivern with that final hit. This is a disaster scenario here for IU. They couldn't even trade the dragon.
That's absolutely worst case scenario there. Ivern being able to flash, smite that away there is horrible. That means you have Soul coming up in 5 minutes now for Purdue, which is going to be a big pressure point for IU. Nice.
Oh, here comes the ultimate sleep. Oh, and second time it goes down. Here comes the redemption, trying to keep everybody alive. And can Lokidosi make more happen here? Gumayuchi is getting so much shielding. My goodness. AZ trying to get a kill there. Sleep just barely living through all of that damage. Gumayuchi, it feels like, is just incapable of dying. And this mid tower goes down. There's not a lot that IU can do here in response. The root is going to hit on Yama. Yama looking mighty low. Gumayuchi is going to be shielded up by that Galio, but it's still taken so low. Finally shut down. But that's 2 more kills going over to the side of Purdue. AZ looking super low. And that is a kill onto AZ. It is just Phantom here. Lands a massive taunt. The inhibitor goes down, but Phantom will fall as well.
That was a big fight for IU. They saw their chance and they took it. There was a lot of small micro things that went wrong for Purdue where they just barely missed the Galio ult onto Yama, or they just barely missed the Apotheosis onto Loki Dosi. It was really on a knife's edge on how well that could have been for Purdue, but it was just well played on the side of IU to turn that into a nice win. And I want to comment on it because I don't quite understand it. And whenever people build items that I don't understand, I like to ask, because people will oftentimes tell me after the game why. I don't understand the Iceborne Gauntlet from Aatrox this game. If you
whoa, wait.
yeah, if you have said, you know what, I'm not going to be a carry, I'm going to be help, I'm going to be something utility for my team, just go Serpent's Fane and stop these Ivern shields from being so big. But Sakon
yeah,
trying
there's
to
the Ignite.
the High Prince, and I think that Iceborne Gauntlet really helped you there.
Yeah, that I don't like that at all. I don't think that's a good choice on Aatrox personally. And Saknam just absolutely obliterating High Prince. AZ a bit cut out here as Yama Fanboy jumps in doing a lot of damage. AZ does not quite hit that ult. Sleep on a killing spree. Oh, that is quite unfortunate.
And we're seeing a lot of different things happen here around the map where IU said, we're going to play for bot side. We're going to get prio and pressure down here. We're going to get our pick down here. And Purdue said, you know what? We'll just let him die. We'll play for this top tier 2, top pressure. And we're seeing a lot of cross map, a lot of trading across the board over here.
Yeah, I think overall Purdue is still much stronger in this scenario. Are they really going for this? Yama Fanboy is going to go in. I don't think this is a good fight to take at all. TP is coming in. Oh my god! And the Renata ult will land as a hostile takeover, and Saknam is forced to...
The Penguin Dab. Saknam is so strong.
Yeah, Saknam does have to use the stasis to save himself from getting killed by his own teammate. But yeah, that was not a good fight to take from the side of IU. Purdue will happily take that free kill as well as get rid of the Renata ultimate.
Aatrox does have a serrated Dirk, so maybe he's going Serpents now. Also, look how strong Ivern is. He has the Locket. He doesn't have Dawn Core, so he's not going Dawn Core. I don't know what this Blasting Wand is going to turn into. It can turn into a bunch of different things. But this Ivern is really strong, and these shields are huge.
Yeah, and those shields are going to be especially important for Gumayushi here, as he'll just be able... I mean, look at that.
That's like an 800 health shield. That is insane.
Very strong. They are posturing for a fight here. I don't know if IU wants to take this, but they might not have a choice in the matter. Phantom looking for an engage angle. IU is just going to have to give this tower. There it goes.
You just can't contest right now. There's no possible way to make a fight happen with how strong this core 4-4-3 of Purdue are. With Nyla increasing the shields from Ivern, bouncing them around to other people, and those get increased by the Moonstone, which gets increased by Nyla again. It's just so much shielding here from the side of Purdue that makes these fights really hard. But IU's last stand has to happen right now. They cannot just give this Hextech Soul for free. They have to try and fight this and try and find a way to win. They need a miracle.
It is do or die here for IU, and it might be do, as that is a really low-looking Yone. Sleep on a rampage. Phantom going golden, but it's re-engaging. Here comes the redemption, and it looks like IU trying to back up. Oh! But Saknam, the Gragas God, with the ult, forces Sleep to Zanya. Has been sitting to go down, but the Renata ult hits everybody in the Aurora ult, hits everybody. Aurora comes down, the shutdown. Gumayushi is being shielded, but cannot do anything, as Renata picks up the kill. Yama slaying Gumayushi there, and High Prince is going to be wailing on Eugene. Eugene has all that shielding might just be able to barely escape with their life. And Saknam lurking in the back, but I think at most you maybe get a pick on the Loki. That's exactly what he's doing.
Saknam, it looked for a second. IU needed a miracle, and Loki Dosi said, I am here. But Saknam said, I will put an end to this with that kill there, right there at the end. Loki Dosi and IU played that fight so incredibly well. Eugene barely didn't fall at the end of that. He does go the Dawn Core. It was insane how close that was and how well Loki Dosi played that just for Saknam to put an end to it all.
Saknam is indeed just a Gragas god. Very well played. That single-handedly keeps Purdue's tempo going, and they get this Hextech Soul. And I really think that was it for IU. I'm not sure there's much more they can do from here on out.
That fight was so well played. and I don't think it's going to have anything to help for IU because they ended up losing it at the end, lost the Hex Tech Soul. Purdue's going to be able to go over here to this Baron, and I think this game is as good as done. It's a formality now at this point without an actual miracle for IU.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. Oh. It's okay, Sleep. It happens to the best of us.
It's okay. That ult's not too long of a cooldown. It's already at, like...
Yeah,
look at that. That's moving fast.
She's got Malignance and presumably Ultimate Hunter, so... Not the end of the world that it missed, but probably does sting a little bit, right? The mentality of, you know, oh, yeah, I had only landed that ult. But Purdue is just going to walk up to this Baron completely uncontested. The reset is coming out here from IU, but I don't think it's going to be fast enough as that Baron's health kicks down.
I think they might try and contest it. I don't know if it's the best choice. Vi is in here. Can she get the seal with the cease and desist? Doesn't even be able to get in there. Yone finds everybody on the backline, but Varus gets a kill. Not going to be enough. High Prince is all to his lonesome. Loki Dosi's down. Sleep and Yama are the last two lines of defense. Hits the blast cone. Isn't going to push anyone away. He's doing a ton of damage, but is not near enough to get through the massive heals and shields from the side of Purdue. And that is going to be game.
Yep, that's it. And, you know, we talked about how we thought IU's draft was going to be really, really problematic here for Purdue. But honestly, that range, they seem to handle it just fine, especially once Eugene gets those core shielding items online. It felt like it just took so long for Buna Yushi to die there. And very well played from IU. So that is, or rather, well played from IU, and congratulations, of course, to Purdue. And that is, that's it. That's the best of one.
Yep.
Purdue will move on to the winners.
Yeah, that's going to be Purdue versus Ball State in the grand finals. I don't think Saknam is going to get Gragas in those games.
Ball State would make a mistake. Yeah.
And that's like the second or third game we've seen of him play Gragas where he's absolutely 1v9. Not going to happen again, but I got to applaud Purdue for picking champions that were unconventional, a weird team comp, you know, but it worked out. I didn't see the vision, but now I do. They made me a believer.
Yeah, that's I kind of want to try Neela Gragas. I'm probably not going to do nearly.
You got to have
well.
the Ivern with it. That's the whole
Yeah.
part that makes it work is, you know, you're making the heals and shields bigger there. It was insane.
It was very well put together. I think, like we said, both these teams had a very clear game plan in mind. Purdue just executed it a lot better. Saknam did the most damage in the lobby as Gragas support, actually, with 34,449, about 1,000 more than the next.
He had more gold than everybody else in the game besides Nyla without CSing at all. The guy was an absolute menace that game.
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't think Ball State is letting Gragas through this draft.
not.
If they did, they have made a grievous mistake. But yeah, there will be a best of 3 for the grand finals here. It will be Ball State versus Purdue.
Yeah, which is going to be a very fun game. I think right now we are getting Purdue and Ball State on the stage. I want to talk a little bit more before I send this to break, but I'm really excited for that game, but I gotta appreciate everybody else who's been here today. We had 8 teams here before we get in the grand finals. We've had IU drop out, Butler drop out, Indiana Southeastern drop out. We had Purdue Fort Wayne, Manchester, and Indiana Tech.
Okay.
We had all these teams here show up today that put on a great games, had a lot of fun. Thank you to everybody who's coming to the event for that. It was a lot of fun to have them here. So I'm ready to put it to break for this Purdue Ball State. Anything else you want to say before we go to this grand final break?
Nothing else that you haven't already said. Thank you so much to all the teams who came out. It was a pleasure to cast for you. There was some really good games of League of Legends. And I'm excited for the grand final. But yeah, I'm ready to throw it the break if you are.
Yep. Stay tuned. We'll be back with that grand final soon.
Thank you for watching. For more updates, follow the Butler Esports socials at Butler Esports.